welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Carmine. Last time we made avocado toast. Today we'll be making chocolate chip cookies. Now before I handle any food, I like to wash my hands because it's proper sanitation and it is important so that you don't give anyone that is eating your food any things that you may have on your hands. Put a little bit of soap, warm water, rinse spoon, sing a happy birthday song twice to yourself. Now that sounds very important to dry cleanly because flour will clump when introduced to moisture, which is why a lot of people who make something called oobleck use slimy water. And now we have our ingredients. We have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, half teaspoon of baking soda, half teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup or 1/2 stick of unsalted butter, which is softened. It's in this bowl because we don't want it to melt everywhere. So I have 1/3 cup of sugar, 2/3 cups of brown sugar, 1 large egg with 1 egg yolk with it. Now the best thing we have is, of course, the 11 ounces chocolate chips, and at the end we have the 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So first, like with anything, we like to combine our dry ingredients, which include the flour. It also includes the baking soda and the salt. Now we just want to mix that very well to get it all nice and combined so that we don't have random clumps of flour and salt because then the cookie will taste weird. And then in another large bowl, which would be this one, like I said, we already have our melted butter in it. We will also add the sugar and the brown sugar, and then for about 2 minutes mix it on medium, which would be about 2, and we want to get it nice and well combined. Sorry, this is very old. Now that's well combined, we add the egg yolks to the wet ingredients. We also add the vanilla extract, which is 1.5 teaspoons. Now make sure not to mix up teaspoons and tablespoons. Very important. So I'm just going to add the half in and 1/2 teaspoon. And then the 1 full teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I like my cookies extra vanilla-y, so that's why I added a little bit more. And now, finally, you want to mix that for a little bit. Oh, and I forgot to raise it. and pull. And now you just want to mix it for a little bit. Now when that's all fully combined, you want to add in your dry ingredients, and just a little bit at a time, like if you're making a souffle, because you don't want it to be messed up at all. Now that that's mixed, I'm just going to go get a rubber spatula. Just slowly add it in about 1/3 at a time. This will prevent the dough from being clumpy. So I'll just raise it up again. Oh, start it at 1 and then just slowly to 2. Alright, and now add in the other, about 1/3 cup. Raise it, lock it, put it to 1, and then to 2. And a fun fact about chocolate chip cookies, they were made by accident. The person who was going to make them wanted to just make normal chocolate cookies, like, you know, where it's fully chocolate, not a little bit of each, but she accidentally put in baking chocolate, which doesn't melt, which then caused it to have the chips. Alright, now we're going to add the final thing of our flour, salt, baking soda mix. Now baking soda makes it nice and soft, not hard. And then after this is well mixed, I'm going to add in our chocolate chips. Alright, now it's time just to add in the main part, the chocolate chips, but I'm just going to mix it a little bit more. Sorry for that. Okay, now it's time for the chocolate chips. Now just very pleasant noise, I know. Alright, those are all incorporated in. Alright, now this is very hard to take out. Yeah, my mom, co-starring the other chef in the house, helped me take out the hook. I'm going to take the spatula, just want to cut a little bit of it off. Now just take it and now just put all of that yummy, delicious, absolutely amazing dough in. We have the classic Italian cooking tool, the wooden spoon, the only thing an Italian chef needs. Alright, and now I'm leaving this because my aunt is here and she likes to lick it.
Yes, I do.
Thank you for recording. That is her recording as I am cooking. Now we want to just pick it up and make about golf ball sized dough balls. Dough balls are it's a very complex term.
Like 2 tablespoons. About 2 tablespoons.
And now I have another assistant here. We have the spoon because I'm not good at. If you hear that meow, that was my cat who likes to eat cookies. I don't know why. We don't feed it to her because of course there's chocolate in it, which is very harmful for cats and dogs and ferrets and all the other such. Now these will either make 9 or 12 per baking sheet. And since I am not a normal person who will make normal chocolate chip cookies, I'll also add, as we will be taking you to the stovetop pretty soon, I will make some caramel sauce and a double boiled chocolate sauce. A double boiler is when you take a boiling pot of water, add another bowl on top of it, and put your ingredient. You mostly melt chocolate in there. And you have double boiled chocolate, which will go nice as a sauce.
Glaze.
And this is gonna make 12 here. Either 9, probably make 9 or 12 there. Leave you with a good amount of cookies, either side. Move this.
Okay.
And bring this in. Take my handy spoon. Now usually there's still a lot of dough left here, so I'm gonna make the normal size cookie. If there's a smaller amount of dough, I make a monster cookie. That basically is like a cookie cake, you cook that in a cast iron, not in this pan, because then it won't get a good crust. It'll taste bad. It'll lose one of its main feels. A main thing to cooking and how a food tastes is its texture. That is why for the caramel sauce I have sea salt. I'm not using normal salt because it will melt, and the sea salt adds a nice texture. When you bite into it, you get a crunch. Sea salt is also the signature use of Salt Bae, which is the most cooking sensations out there. And this will probably make 12 too, which will leave us with 24 cookies, 12 and 12 each. There's a lot of dough, and it's hard to form accurate shapes when your hands look like this. Now, a lot of people say you're not supposed to eat raw cookie dough because of the raw egg, and that is true because you can get salmonella. But it tastes good, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so now that we have the 2 baking sheets full and we have more of this, just gonna go bring the bun in the oven, but first I'm gonna wash my hands before I touch those, because then the handles are gonna be lined with cookie, and that's not very good. Rinse that off. I might make the leftover dough into a giant cookie in a small, very small cast iron pan, or it'll be eaten raw. And the oven is preheated to 375 degrees, and it will cook for about 15-20 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I mistaked that time up.
Well, let me get you now.
And now I'm just gonna put that down. And there we go. The timer is of course going to be set to 8 minutes. I'm sorry about my dog. I'm just going to set it to 10. So I was going to put at the highest. Usually put at the lowest time, but I put it at the highest because lowest time usually doesn't cook. Sorry about all the background noise. My brothers are arguing. Oh, sorry. Oh my god, now I feel horrible. Yes, you have the co-stars of the story, Phoebe.
Should I stop it?
And now I'm gonna get back when we start to make the double boiled chocolate and caramel. See you then. Welcome back to the Carmine Cooking Show. Look how beautiful the cookies came out. And now we're gonna make the caramel sauce and the double boiled chocolate sauce. So first I'm just gonna chop this chocolate so it melts easier. I have Hershey's chocolate here. Best chocolate brand, no doubt. I know I use Goya Delis for the chocolate chip, but that's just because Goya Delis makes better chocolate chips. I don't even know if Hershey's makes chocolate chips. They do. I bet you. And now we're just gonna chop these up. Finally. Just gonna slice them and then dice them.
Careful.
If you hear the careful, that is from my aunts. Now I'm not gonna like chop them into cubes only because I have doggos here. And if any of them fall, I do not want my dogs to get sick because they are the joys of my life. Now this is the bowl that we're going to put them in. Oh, actually, no, this is the bowl that we put the chocolate chips in. It's very similar to the bowl that we double boil in. Okay, this is one. We're just going to put them in a plate. And this is 2 Hershey's chocolate bars. And now we have, for the caramel, we have vanilla extract, stick of butter, 1 cup brown sugar, and there's a 1/2 cup butter. That's right, 1 stick equals 1/2 cup. This is actually 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 cup of milk. Now we're just gonna move everything. I'll move the chocolate first. Yeah, my mom featured again. I don't know if you can. Make sure this is warm. And now first we're gonna add I'm gonna do the caramel first, so the water has time to boil for the double boiler. And the most important thing about caramel is that you always stir and you always keep an eye on it. Because then it burns and then it's very sad. Then it smells bad too. And we're going to quickly add, just going to get everything ready. Going to peel back the butter. Put that right here. Put in the sugar. And we put in the butter first.
It's very hot.
I want to keep it at low flame to just ensure it doesn't burn. Oh, now just because I got a little bit of butter in my hand, just gonna dab it a little bit. Just want to make sure that the butter gets melted. Just gonna put one of these on so I can have a hold.
Good.
Now, the reason why brown sugar is brown is because of molasses, which gives it its brown color as being a very thick liquid that is a sweetener. That's what goes into most barbecue sauces. That's why brown sugar is in barbecue sauce, so you get the molasses and the sweetness. Just gonna let that melt, and I'm just letting the water here boil before we add in the chocolate and everything else. Now it's going to look like that it's not melting, but it will. Oh, and I dropped a little bit on the ground. I'm just gonna pick that up real quick. Rest in peace, that bit of butter. Mixing with oven gloves is not my favorite thing to do because it's very difficult and annoying. Now, of course, people watching the video can't smell, but it smells very nutty here. And you can see that's taking on a different color than usual caramel because that's for two reasons. One, we didn't add in the milk yet. Two, this is brown sugar, so it's not going to be as light. It's going to be a little bit darker. And as I said, my cat is right behind there.
Oh.
Trying to taste the cookies.
Get down.
We have a lot of featured guests in this video. Just wanna get all the butter and sugar incorporated. Smells like peanut butter, kind of. If you warmed peanut butter up. And now the main ingredients to the chocolate double boil is the chocolate, of course, and more milk. That's the milk for the caramel. I'll add in the milk for the double boiler as we do it. To have very low flaming, you just want to keep stirring so it doesn't burn. Like when you're making hot chocolate in a pan, you make sure that you keep mixing because milk also burns. Now we're just gonna let that final bit of buttermilk melt, then add in the milk. And we're gonna let it cool for 2 minutes after the milk's incorporated, then add in our vanilla. Now you can notice it's at a very low flame. That's so it doesn't burn. That's the thing you don't want to happen to caramel. You don't want it to burn. So caramel, you'd have burnt sugar. I just like to smush the butter to make it go melt quicker. Now caramel is of course a chosen topping for a lot of things. You have caramel apples at the fair. You have caramel on top of ice cream. You have caramel chips for some reason. I don't know why people would buy that. But you know, people like caramel. I myself am a fan of caramel only on the right things. I'm just gonna remove the gloves and transfer it. Yeah, the laughing because it's a funny household. Corona. Now you take your milk and pour it in. You can also use heavy cream, but heavy cream is usually only used for normal sugar. And like I said, this is brown sugar. Now you're just going to want to let that mix. Now I'm just going to add in the glove, leave it there for a whole 2 whole seconds. And now that this is boiling, I'm just going to take it off the heat for a little bit. Make sure that it doesn't boil too much. Start to see that caramel color. Now you're just going to want to let that thicken for a little bit. Take it off the heat. Let that thick. Now it's time for the double boiler. I'm just going to quickly just rinse that off. And now just turn this back on to heat. And now it's time to just drink a little bit of milk. I'll grab the chocolate and check. Oh, and chocolate fell into the vanilla. I love vanilla tasting chocolate. take that off the heat for a little bit of that. And put a little bit of milk. The milk here can add a little bit more. But now I just want to mix that in. Take this. Take our hand protection.
You might need a little bit.
Now I'm just going to let that go and then add in tiny bit of heat. Now I added in the milk mostly for creaminess. Just ensure that you don't get chocolate milk. Just going to add in one more bar. Starting to become chocolate milk. And my best assistant ever, my mom, is getting the milk. Now the caramel is starting to get a little thick, you can tell. Go whisk that more after this stuff boil is done. Just adding a little bit at a time. So milk. Sorry for the background noise. That are my dogs. Doggies. And now I'm just going to take this and just humble it in. Oh yeah. And I mentioned sea salt. We're going to add that to the caramel pretty soon. It's going to be very cool. Alright, now that has thickened up very nice. Alright, now I just take this off the heat, and now that's perfect. And I just want to rinse this off again. Rinse it off as it chocolate. That is the sound of parchment, by the way. So don't be alarmed. Parchment. I'm going to wipe this off. Alright, now that's clean pretty good. That's clean pretty good. Just do it. Now you want to take back your caramel, which is slightly thickened, to a very nice caramelly sauce. Want to mix. And yes, I know it's quite watery. Now when that happens, you want to do this. You want to take a little bit more, only a tiny bit of brown sugar more, and just sprinkle it in just to thicken it up a little bit. Wash your hands now. Get all that brown sugar off. Put the mitt back on and mix that in. Now you can see it got more thick. You can see the thickness, and now we're going to take our vanilla and just add that. Now you can see the nice caramel right there. And that is the cats and dogs fighting. See that thickness of it? And now that is done, and now it's time to bring it over there. Now we're going to decorate the cookies. Yeah, grab your... Do one each, one with the chocolate and one with the caramel. No, the chocolate has some water on there, so we're just gonna put that in the sugar. And while I'm here, I'm gonna add the sea salt to the caramel. Sorry for my dog barking. Alright, and now I'm going to take this cookie and this cookie and get some spoons, but first it's time to salt the caramel. My sea salt. Now time to get a spoon so I can put the right things in there. Now I just want to take the chocolate, just put that nice chocolate sauce on. Now you want to take your caramel, which I forgot to get a spoon for the caramel. You have the caramel spoon. Now you just want to take the nice caramel sauce out of the watery behind the drain. Now just sprinkle on the nice amber colored caramel. Hit it with a little bit of more sea salt, or flaky salt. I'm just going to take the caramel. Caramel came out really good. Kind of sweetness like caramel has. And cookie, chocolate sauce. Excellent. Alright, I'll try this at home. You can. Till next time, thank you for watching.